Good morning, YouTube. The bore is making water. So, soon as there's more in that tank now than there is in this tank, which is the spare tank, the firefighting reserve tank, and there's plenty for a couple of days of cattle, I've just cross-connected and see maybe for an hour the sun can fill both tanks. Because it turns out there's only one private water carter. And I hope to be able to get a couple of loads of water by about the weekend. That'll be good if it works. In the meantime, I might have to make do with what I've got. And comparatively speaking, I have got a lot. I'd say 5,900 litres there. This one has about 10,000 litres. If that's 12,500 there, this is 10. So that's nearly 16,000, and there's about 4,000 in that one. So, never had 20,000 litres on the lawn before. We'll have a bit of a play with that in a minute. But first, I thought I might show you the current emergency game plan. I mean, in due course, fairly soon, I'm going to cut these things down, get that fuel away. But the current game plan to be able to render this safe in about 10 minutes notice can be seen standing up there. Look at that there then. So in addition to 130 litres in the firefighter, with 22 litres preloaded in the hose, ready to go, we have over here, and you could, if you really wanted to, you could connect that Stort's fitting and a 19mm hose feeding a 20mm sprinkler. And the point about a 20mm sprinkler is, with Stort's fittings, the lumen on a Stort's fitting for a 25mm hose is only 19mm. So whether you were feeding that sprinkler there with this hose, 19mm, or with this hose, 25mm, in each case the water has to go through a 19mm lumen to get through that there. So I think the idea of leaving the 20mm hose set up ready to go from that sprinkler is about the best I can do until I do some pretty serious work with a chainsaw and a trailer, getting rid of all this nasty fuel burden so close to the shipping container, which needs to be protected. Right, that's the fire plan. As you can see, I've got rid of a whole lot more of that dead trees, cleared away quite a lot of wattle there. Pretty much next on the line is those piles of dead Melaleuca alternifolia after I feed the kangaroos. Oh, hello, how are you? But first, because it tells you should charge this thing before you try to ride it, they reckon it arrives with the battery about 65% charged. And I'm actually going to be charging it off the petrol generator until the big solar system arrives. And this should be able to do it, no worries. But I've also got 650 amp hours worth of 12 volt storage, and I've got an 850 watt with, no, not 850 watt, 650 with 1500 watt surge. Yeah, I was going to have a crack at running it on that and see with this how much current it was drawing, but I don't want to risk blowing up what passes for my big inverter, because I've got two little ones over there. So yeah, I'm just going to have to start the generator and give this a petrol charge from the beginning. Bummer. Just don't quite dare challenge this with an 850 watt charger. I mean, I'm buying a 1600 watt inverter just to run that bloody thing, so I don't dare put it on that. But anyway, we have a key to get into the battery compartment. That there is what makes it go. That's our lifting handle to pull it out. This is our battery discharge plug, and down in there is a circuit breaker. And the battery, I'm pretty sure it weighs about 10 kilos. Same key fits the ignition. I don't need my bicycle chain because it's got a steering lock. Hopefully I'm not going to make a mess of this one. Might have been nice if they told me that this is supposed to be a locking plug. So, yeah, things they don't tell you. What that hieroglyphics is supposed to indicate is you push it on, and then you have to rotate that sleeve in order to get it to unlock and come off. Yeah. I don't know why they didn't tell me that in the manual. Right, so that connection's made now. The charger can detect the battery, and if you plug it says grid power, but if you plug your 240 volts in first, then you've got only 3 seconds to connect that. Otherwise, the charger's going to get confused because it can't see the battery. Okay, we have electricity. Let's see how the motorbike likes it. There we go. All that should really happen is that little light there should start to flash. And we either don't have electricity or we don't have a connection. There we go. Whoa. It's a while since I was using it, but I didn't think it was going to be as doughy as that. I'll just do a few checks. Plenty of oil, and the oil's not great, but it's not horrible. Crankcase is starting to warm up a bit. See how it goes again. It's struggling. Better, but not great. Okay, I'm going to call that stable power. And let's see what this thing makes of it. Red flashing, it's charging. Green on, fully charged. I guess the generator's having a hard time though. And the fan is going. but it's making 200 volts. Okay, I'm going to call that a success. In as far as charging, I think the generators can't do this. Yeah, as far as trying to charge an electric motorbike on a petrol engine can be considered a success. It's a sort of a success. Yeah, I think I might have to go and get myself a bigger generator. To be honest, I think I'm going to get myself a new generator. I think this thing's done about 3,000 hours, and I think it's about cacked. And I don't think it's going to be doing any good for this thing over here. Well, we will see what we will see. It's a learning curve. At the moment it's kind of sort of functional. Now this is interesting. The generator prefers having the drill on it as well as the bike charger. Very weird. But the bike is still charging. About 180 volts. Don't really like that, but it seems to be functioning almost okay. I'll just have to let it go and drink some coffee. Okay, so what we're looking at is basically a 2 kVA generator. Bought in 2013, so it's 10 years old. Back in 2016 I got a bit slack about writing the hours down, but it had done 2,080 hours 7 years ago, and it's burned 310.5 litres in that intervening 7 years, and it goes normally 3 hours to the litre, so yeah, it's done 3,000 hours. And it's really struggling to charge that motorbike. I think all in all, might be time to shout myself a new bloody generator, which I didn't really want to do. Although the aim of the game is to burn through the money. Yeah? And I'd rather have a new generator that works and can deal with the load, rather than an old one that's nearly clapped out, is struggling so hard that it's probably annoying the shit out of that little charger, just by not quite having enough volts to do the job. So what we're looking at, 31.8, 31.8, 31.6, 36, 32. It's not getting overly hot. Still not making its voltage. Dear oh dear, there, never mind. Well, it's probably not doing it any great good, but it's not doing it any real harm either. I think this side of it's coping. That's the one that's having the trouble. Yes, Warbles is very impressed. Slowly getting the hang of it. Quite a fascinating day. And now, I suppose, better go down and switch off the water crossover. Water's still going in. Yeah, I'd say they're about equal. So that means this one's come up about that much, and this one is still filling. And tomorrow I'll do that again. Try and get that thing up to about there. And if that fails, hopefully by the weekend I should have 20 tonnes of water coming, although I'm having difficulty getting that because there's only one water carter in the phone book. And I guess there's a lot of people want water, so cut your coat according to the cloth. The bore tank's making water. I'm going to try and fill up my neighbour's spare tank so that if shit hits the fan, it's there, ready to go. So anyway, that's my first hour playing with the motorbike, integrating it with the water tank, and pottering about being the fool on the hill. Warbles on a lot to YouTube. Ciao.